What's up, guys? Back another week for the Common Ground Show. Um, I'm your host, Jacoby. You see, I'm wearing the brown shirt. Kind of matches my skin complexion um, because I'm melanated. Unlike
Nothing needed.
our other host, my co-host, Thomas. And yeah, so go ahead, Thomas. Take the
Oh my
wheel
gosh.
because we got a lot to discuss today. Um, I mean, it's a lot of political mumbo jumbo out there, and a lot of different people have basically designated themselves to a political party in a way
hmm
that is tribal and honestly kind of freaking brain controlling or brainwashing. That's
Yeah.
my new favorite term or phrase is brainwashing. You're brainwashed. um, so instead of being a person that is for the country of America, instead you plead your allegiance to um, a party, uh, kind of like a sport. Like I pledge allegiance to Auburn or Alabama, right? So uh, with all all that mumbo jumbo, but uh, Thomas, take us away. Go ahead, give us everything that we're going to be going over today.
Yeah. So we put something on our X account today, and it's a thread about the difference between Democrats, Republicans, and MAGA. And from looking at it right now, everybody argues that there's not a three-party system. I argue there is. You have Democrats, you have Republicans, and you have MAGA, and they are all fighting a struggle to stay alive. I think that what we're going to discuss here today, first and foremost, why is the Democratic Party dwindling? Two, why is the Republican Party just trying to stagnate? And three, is MAGA growing in popularity? And so, if any of that sounds interesting to you, please stay. If any of that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe, please like, please comment. We want to have a community of people, whether you agree with us or not, but we want to have a community of people that is able to have a conversation, period, about what's going on, and where we respect each other, where we have the respect to be able to tell each other you're wrong and prove why you're wrong or why you're right. So, that being said, um, Jacoby hit the nail on the head. It's tribalism. And you can see that all over X. You can see that all over Instagram. You can see that all over Facebook. It doesn't matter who on the Republican side, who on the Democratic side does something wrong. It is very hard to see anyone in that bubble say, you know what, they did something wrong. They should be held accountable for it. And that's what's wrong. That right there is what's terrible about our culture. It's because we're so just holding on to, no, I can't let the Democrats win, or no, I can't let the Republicans win, or dadgummit, Trump is growing. No, 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 no. We're going to discuss all that here tonight. So to tee it off, Jacoby, do you see the Democratic Party dwindling, or do you see the Democratic growing in popularity, and why?
Well, I see liberals or I guess I look at Democrats and liberals the same. Um, and so I would say if I'm to group them together, um, I'll s- I'll say it's pretty strong. It's I don't know. I think it's pretty much still on point. People are still on the I hate Trump train. Um, well, I mean,
It's interesting you say Democrats and liberals are the same. As I just Googled
hmm
and I asked, is there a difference between Democrats and liberals? And of course, this is AI, and this is from Dissent magazine. So I don't know who Dissent magazine is, but it says yes, there is a distinction. Democrats refer to members of or supporters of the Democratic Party, a political organization, while liberals represent an ideology focused on social justice, government regulation, and civil rights. While most American liberals identify as Democrats, the party also includes moderate and conservative members. So, are you saying that you see the Democratic Party becoming way more, all they care about is um, social issues, regulation, and civil rights, and they're moving away from, I guess, more traditional democratic values?
yes, and that I mean, with that context, yes, it's um, it's becoming more liberal.
Yeah. Why? Why? Where are you seeing? Because your mom, she was a
hmm
Democrat, right?
Yep. Well, she's
For,
still teeter totters. She just, I mean, she goes
but
based off of what I say.
you would say though she was a old school Democrat.
Yeah, I mean, she was gonna kick me out the house if I didn't vote for Obama.
Every time you say that, it cracks me up.
It cracks me up too because I'm pretty sure she was serious.
Yeah. So instead of
Yeah,
voting for Obama, you voted for Jesus.
yeah. No,
No, you voted for Obama. You
no,
voted
I
for
voted.
Jesus over Trump in 2020.
No, I legit voted for a dude that was gonna legalize weed because literally he was I was like everybody in the hood like go to jail for weed. I was like, what if we vote for a president that legalizes it? Less people. And so I was thinking that way, and I voted for that guy who was an independent, and I didn't know what independent meant then, but
Yeah.
I mean I was at 18,
It's
so
basically your Libertarian Party.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, they're you're thinking they're more liberal. Is there because you have I'm trying to think of when you go to your family reunions, is
mhm.
it mostly Democratic or Republican or like
Mostly Democratic.
okay, would you say that they're more liberal or more traditional Democrats?
Well, if we include civil rights, we would say liberal.
Okay. Um, okay. So if they're more, if they're, because see, I don't disagree with you. Every
hmm
single time I hear a Democrat talk, and this is what irritates me about Democrats. And if you're listening and you're a Democrat and you disagree, tell us. We want to talk to you. But every time you hear a Democrat, all they care about is not offending somebody. That's all they care about.
Yeah.
And so when somebody comes to them and is like, hey, man, like, I think boys should be able to go in girls' restrooms. And they're like, well, if I disagree with this person, then am I gonna not get their vote? And so they just say, yeah, you know what? I agree. Why can't boys go in girls' restrooms? Why not? And so they become the party of acceptance of everything. And
Yeah. We
that's
call
what you
those Du
see.
Bois.
Du Bois?
Yeah. People
Why are
who
they called
willing
Du
to
Bois?
people who willing to do anything for like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. A quick
for
buck.
the acceptance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the type of stuff that genuinely pisses me off because you you're manipulating people because you have an alternative motive, and you really don't care about boys being able to, or men being able to go into women's bathrooms because you have an alternative or alternative motive. And so, um, yeah, it's to create the chaos for whatever the main plan is. And that's what's stupid is because I hate to say if I hate people that feels like they know everything, and so I refrain from saying I feel like we're the guys who figured it out and nobody else knows, because I think that's beside the point. I think everybody has like we're some type of form of fashion we're under the carpet. Like I can't think of the analogy, but um, we're
What are you trying to say?
we're not in the know. Like even as much as we can get information from books or whatever the case may be, the internet, like we still there's stuff that still is not available for the public that we don't know for sure, right? So we're all making speculations. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I would say it's important to not fall for traps by Du Bois, and I'll end it there, and you can go ahead.
Why are you ending it there? You keep going.
That was it. It was just
Oh.
like making sure that you're not in this loophole of victim or being the victim and being told that you're a victim. And it's sometimes like you gotta figure out that stuff takes hard work. Like I used to be fat, like over 400 pounds, and it took hard work to lose it and to continue to maintain it off, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
that's the type of stuff that I think if it wasn't for that, I don't think I would be as open to not being a victim because I had to do something that caused me to do the hard work, that caused me to stick with something for so long that it told me that anything that I do, as long as I continue to do it and continue to get reps and reps and reps, eventually I'll get the result that I'm seeking. So,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think a victim is a good word for it. Because that, if you look at the modern Democratic Party, all you see is a victim being played out. That's their argument. Anything, if you speak against the Democratic Party, you're a fascist. If you speak against the Democratic ideology, you are invoking tyranny on them. If you don't agree with any of their social justice issues, then you are a bigot. Anything and everything that they push, their argument against it is a victim mentality. And you can't communicate, much less get to a place where, gosh dang, like what we want to do, find common ground. Like how can you find common ground with somebody that is playing a victim? You can't, because all a victim wants is to be told you're justified in how you feel. All a victim wants is to be cared for in their current state. There's I forgot the ideology, but not the ideology, but the thought process. But you have to meet people where they're at. And then once they get to a position of like critical thinking again, then you can reason with people. But people that just are constantly like, if somebody gets into a gunfight, God forbid, and they get out of that, they've been a victim of a gunfight. But that they're a victim of an issue, of a situation that occurred. And so they'll eventually get out of that victim mentality because the situation has ended. And so you'll meet with them and you'll talk with them, you'll calm them down. And then once they are out of the victim situation, then you can reason with them and figure out, hey, what happened? What occurred? Like, who's at fault? Like, what did you do? Yada, yada, all that. But people who live in a victimhood mentality, they never get out of it. And so you can't communicate with it. And that, to me, is the biggest issue for the Democratic Party and why I think they're dwindling. Because you also look at what's occurred. The
Well,
Democrats,
I don't. I mean, if you look at um, crap, I just forgot what you were saying. Frick, and I cut you off.
just rewind. Just kidding.
So um, you said something about the Democratic Party right
The
before.
Democratic Party is living in a victim mentality.
Wait, okay, so basically you were saying that um, like once you help them realize like or help them out of the victimhood situation, then like you can tell them like, hey, blase, blase, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the brainwashing part. Is that there are a lot of Democrats who are free, are like they genuinely don't have a need. They're not a victim, but they literally have been told that they're still a victim while not being a victim.
Yeah, but they believe it.
Yeah,
That's my thing. Like, they believe it. It's a sheep party.
yeah.
They will, dude. Like, you look how, I mean, I usually in the Republican side, there's usually some people that dissent, but I'm proud right now that Republicans are rallying around common sense voting right now. But usually, like, man, Democrats are in lockstep with each other in everything. They just like, yes, party leader, whatever you want me to vote for, I will vote for it. And there's like no dissent whatsoever. But like on the Republican side, even right now, like the Republicans are trying to pass the SAVE Act and they can't get their crap together to figure out how to pass the SAVE Act.
Let's. I mean, to say that, and here's the thing: on the Common Ground show, like we're just real people, and so uh, we're researchers. So that doesn't mean we are expert in everything, but we can become the expert in that topic with our research. But with that said, I haven't done my research on the Save Act. um, but I had a
Okay, my
interesting.
point. That's my point. That's
Wait.
my point.
I had an interesting conversation. Not well. It was kind of like third party, and I think that's the right way to say that. But basically, somebody was pissed off that the Save Act was becoming implemented, and they're like their mom uh, wasn't able to get a passport or something because they wouldn't take her. They had to go by her original last name and not her maiden name and not her
Mm-hmm.
married name. And so,
Where does this
uh,
person live?
Mobile,
See, okay, continue. It doesn't matter for them, but continue.
yeah. So that was it, and they were like, basically like pissed off and was like, "Hey, like man, it's stupid, man." And they're like, "Man, old Trump," and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. So, two things on that. First, you just proved my point.
hmm
You just said I haven't really done my research on it, so I need to figure it out, right?
hmm
That is a natural, like, free thinker mentality. All right. Democrats right now, from what I see and what it looks like online,
hmm
and what everybody I talk to seems like they do, is if they hear somebody say this is bad or this is good, they just latch onto it. That's all they do. They just
hmm
latch onto it. You were like naturally like, hold up, I haven't really done my research on it. The second thing on it is these friends you're talking about. I'm assuming they're Democratic.
Well,
Are they
one is
Democrat?
actually more conservative than the other, and which was funny for them to have that opinion because we've had conversations before, but I wasn't gonna.
Sounds like we need to have them on the show.
No, he will not be on the show.
Well,
Uh,
if you ever watch this, you who Jacoby is speaking of, I would love you to be on the show. But if you're not on the show and you listen to this, please listen to this part. So Alabama already requires proof of citizenship to vote. Alabama already requires a valid photo ID to vote. There is nothing in the Save America Act that you are going to have to do that you haven't already been doing to vote. There's
well, they were
24
saying
states.
something about women.
Yeah,
There
that's all that is what the Democrats are trying to push. They're trying to
that
sit
women
there and
can't
lie to
vote, right?
people. Yes, they're trying to sit there and lie to people. We talked about this a few episodes ago. Literally, there's 24 states right now that require a valid photo ID to vote. 24 states. So there are millions of women, because they are trying to make it a female issue. There are millions of women every single voting cycle that have been doing this without a thought, proving that they have a valid photo ID. There are 9 states, I think it's 8 or 9 states, that require valid proof of citizenship before you can even register to vote. We talked about this a few episodes ago. So there's millions of women that do this every voting cycle if they need to prove that they are a valid United States citizen to vote in these 9 states. And so these Democrats that are trying to lie about the Save America Act and to sit there and say, oh, it disenfranchises women. Either you're going to sit there and say that the millions of women in these 24 states and in these 9 states are just that far superior in their ability to process paperwork over the other states that you're referencing, or you're trying to gaslight people like what it sounds like they're trying to do to your friends to try to sit there and say, oh, women are going to be disenfranchised. And it's like, one, Alabama, you already don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Because you've already got the proof, like you've already verified that you're a citizen, and you already have a valid photo ID. Like what the heck? And what's really pissing me off is that you have Democrats right now that are fighting the SAVE Act, but they're also sitting there and they're flipping their biscuits over TSA not being funded. What's so freaking stupid about that is their argument against the SAVE Act is valid photo ID, valid proof of citizenship. But they are sitting there and they are fighting tooth and nail for TSA, which does what? You have to have a valid photo ID, or you have to have a valid photo ID and a passport, because if you don't have the freaking star ID, and then they pat you
Yeah, I
down
mean,
and search your crap.
I literally had to do, for my flight, I had to do the um, TSA ID or,
Clear ID,
yeah, the clear ID or something like that.
whatever it's called.
Yeah, and I had to do that. Um, I think it was like $45.
Yeah.
And
So it's just stupid.
yeah,
It's so stupid. Like it's not their argument is it's dumb. And we posted about this on our X account today as well. A really good thread, the difference between what's going on with TSA and the SAVE Act. And so, anyways, that all said, the Democratic Party I do think is dwindling. You have major people that used to be huge Democrats. You had Elon Musk, huge Democrat. Now he's a fringe Republican, MAGA, whatever he wants to call himself. Um, Hate him, love him, whatever. Donald Trump used to be a huge Democrat. Now he's MAGA, whatever you want to say.
yeah.
Who else? Who else is a big name? There's been a ton of big names that you have. Dadgummit. Now this sounds like a dumb argument because I'm only thinking of two people, but that there's been a ton of shift, and y'all see that little chart or graph where it says like where the center of the country used to be, and the center of the country hasn't moved. Republicans haven't moved, but the far left of the Democratic Party has moved so far left that like nobody really recognizes it anymore. And so it is the Democratic Party is becoming the party of radicalism, truly of radicalism. And I do think that is why they are dwindling. They have the lowest. I think that they have what's it called the lowest approval rating I think they've ever had. And so you have people. I think as Democrats, like they call them blue dog Democrats, like the Democrats that I don't know voted for Bill Clinton in the 90s. I think as they die off, and as either they die off or they wake up, and they at least start to either recognize like, okay, Republicans aren't as bad as what they used to be, or whatever it might be. You're going to have the Democratic Party become the third party, truly, because you have true infighting within the Republican Party and MAGA right now. And so to move that forward, what is your view on the Republican Party? I think like true Republicans are just trying to keep status quo.
What do you mean by status quo?
I think the true Republicans are the ones that like think of George Bush, think of who's a big name. Think of George Bush. Think of the Republican Party pre-Trump, where they didn't want to offend anybody, where they were fine with globalism as long as, again, nobody was really offended. They wanted to protect our country as long
Man, think of
as
a president.
I did. George W. Bush.
I'm saying another one.
I don't want to say Reagan was there, but Reagan was there. Yeah, Reagan. I would say Reagan. Reagan would be a very interesting tweener, I think, between MAGA and Republicanism.
So, what is?
If
How
not,
does
you're getting
that?
60 years ago.
What is? What does that have to do with status quo, though?
They saw the rise of MAGA, and MAGA is way more isolationist than what true republicanism is. True republicanism is, in my opinion, not America first. What it is that it looks at the country and it says, "Oh, we're good. Let's go America." But we need to push all the other boats up. is how I see Republicans right now. So we will sacrifice ourselves for the good of everybody else. And there comes a point where you sacrifice yourself so much and nobody else is giving anything back to you. And so then you're just a dead corpse. And then nobody's moving forward because everybody's been leeching off of you for decades, which is what has been occurring with our trade deals, which I don't know. I really wish people would wake up to the fact that these tariffs are helping America. I understand there are businesses that trade overseas and that is hurting them, and I hope and I pray that changes quickly. But these tariffs are helping American goods, and they are helping level the playing field. And so Republicans, perfect example, Republicans were perfectly fine with shipping our jobs overseas to China, to Indonesia, to Vietnam, to Mexico for a cheap good. They sat there and they said, hey, yeah, it's okay, capitalism, cheap goods, this is great. But they couldn't see 20, 30, 40 years in advance and go, what is this going to do to the job market? What is this going to do to the goods that are created in America? You can't compete. You can't compete. The competition isn't equal. If you have a good made by child labor and a good made by somebody that's trying to support a family.
Well, if I'm to be mind control like other people, I I would I would side for the Republican Party because they helped with slavery, and
They did.
they're the reason for the ending of slavery and stuff, and you know, and that was a big deal. But anyway, outside of that, yeah, I don't like anything else. Um, I do believe that um, the Republican Party has been sold to war, and um, and capitalism. Capitalism is good for small business. That's what it was meant for. We shouldn't have. Honestly, we shouldn't have corporations. Like corporations shouldn't exist in America. Um, it should only be small businesses, and there should be a cap. Like,
What do you mean a cap?
like I did. I don't know if you saw. Housing market has been going down, which is good. Um, and Trump made an announcement, I think last week, and he was talking about um, basically how um, man, your typing throwing me off.
Dang it, I was trying to be very quiet. Hold on. Let me...
um, basically, Trump was talking about the housing market and how um, I guess dang, I can't really remember exactly how he went about it, but anyway, you come back.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about. So I don't know if this is exactly what he was doing, but and this is why freaking Congress is, I do think Congress is doing a pretty good job, but they've got to ramp it up. Like Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street, those are rookie numbers, man. You got to get those numbers up. Like, we got to start passing way more bills. Like, I'm fine with like single paragraph bills, like just bam, 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 to codify Trump's agenda. And again, if you're listening to this and you disagree with Trump's agenda, we want to talk to you. I just want to talk to you. I want to understand where you disagree. But he signed an executive order in January of this year It was titled "Stopping Wall Street from Competing with Main Street Home Buyers." And what this executive order did, it directs federal agencies to restrict institutional investors from purchasing single-family homes. The order aims to increase homeownership opportunities for individuals and families. Let's see here. In March, so March of this year, a bipartisan Senate bill was passed as part of the housing affordability package that aims to codify these restrictions, although it contains some exemptions, such as for build-to-rent communities. Okay, I can maybe understand that one. So what this is basically, I think it was back in 24, 23, 22. I forgot which one it was.
Hey,
But
you mind
what?
if I cut you off? I just remembered. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So basically, Trump, um, with the new housing act, he cut off big corporations from being able to um, purchase real estate or multifamily homes, and
That's what I
be.
just said.
I know, but I'm saying like, I, I had to say it because that
Okay, I
was
hear you. Keep going.
that was it. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it was back in
I
22,
said it
23,
first,
20.
people.
You said it first. Um, BlackRock, I'll just say BlackRock. Okay. BlackRock and investment corporations, companies like BlackRock, I think they bought like, I don't know, like 50% or something crazy of single family in the United States.
Repeat that
And
because you muted yourself.
yeah, hold on. I'm going to type for a second.
Well, Thomas is typing, guys. So, um, I guess while we wait, um, yeah, there's one time at band camp, um, I was actually light skinned. Believe it or not, I was light skinned. And at some point at band camp, like, I guess the sun was just so hot, and like we was in the sun for like 6 hours. It was like a job, and it was a hard job, and it was being in the sun, marching, and then I was fat too, and so um, I didn't really like physical activities, and yeah, being in the sun,
I
it
can't
fried
find
me a
it.
little bit.
I can't find it, but there was it
Oh
each
man,
year, each year, the amount of homes that are bought by investor corporations, private capital corporations, like they buy these homes and they shelter their assets in them. And what the issue is that like you go into a community, and the natural home is, let's just say the homes are selling for $200,000,
hmm
and that's fine. That's just what the market says. Well, you have people like BlackRock; they can come in there and go, "I'll buy it for 225, 230, 250, whatever that is," and they buy enough of those in that area. Then the market says, "Hold on, these homes are worth 20, 30 extra $1,000 than what we're already saying that they're worth." And so that makes people like you and I have to spend 20 extra, 30 extra $1,000 for a home. That the real market, the market of, like, I don't know, middle income America being able to buy a home is not 220, 230. It's actually 200. And you might be able to argue down 195, whatever it might be. But no, you're having to argue up. And so it pushes new families out of the ability to actually purchase a home, because they're not
yes,
competing. We're not competing with each other. We're competing with organizations that have billions of dollars, and they just are doing it to shelter the money. That's all they're doing it for.
I remember being at D now um, when I was younger and going to, because everybody should know at this point, if you watch the other episodes, I grew up in the hood. Um, it's no way you would know that because there's no way I represent the hood in no form or fashion. Like, you can't look at my skin color and be like, yeah, that dude from the hood, or the way I talk. There's no way. But yeah, I forgot where I was going with that.
You went to D now.
Oh yeah, D now. So went to D now, and so I wasn't used to seeing houses like middle class houses, and I saw this house that we were at, and I found out that the houses were going for like 240 or 250,000, and it was massive. It was a gigantor house. Like, even to this day, like compared to like your normal middle class house, it was definitely like upper middle class,
Mm-hmm.
and it was 240,000, and it was like now 240,000 will get you a house that looks like middle class, like a very, not a bad house, but
No, 240 will get you a pretty good home. It'll get you
yeah,
a good starter home.
yeah, but it's like way above where it used to be. Like when we were growing up, like
Mm-hmm.
what we saw and what we hoped for and what we expected, like when we became adults, all changed.
Yeah, yeah, and that's again that type of bill, that type of executive order. That's the stuff we need to see because it makes the competition at the right level. It's like what basically was going on is you had Brock Lesnar being able to compete against um, who's a lightweight champion, Jacoby, or
Lightweight for
middleweight,
Brock
whatever.
Lesnar,
Brock
heavyweight.
Lesnar's Brock Lesnar's heavyweight. Who's a Conor McGregor. It, Brock Lesnar fighting against Conor McGregor.
No,
Not even a
oh,
what?
got you. You making a point. My
Yeah,
brain went to. It's no way they're in. They're not in the same weight class. But that's your point.
exactly,
That's your point.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, Brock Lesnar's what like 6'7", like 280.
Yeah.
And Conor McGregor, like no disrespect to him, he would fold me up like a freaking lawn chair and destroy me in 2 seconds. Like he is what like 5'8", 5'9",
Is he that
um,
short?
a buck 80. I don't know how tall he is, but they're not even remotely close in their capacity to fight. Not even remotely close, because Brock has him by a ton of weight and height.
I do believe
And
that Conor McGregor could beat up Brock Lesnar.
nah, I don't know. I don't watch fighting, but the point is that if you put them in the ring to box, Brock Lesnar would break Connor's face.
I don't know. I think,
To box. I'm just saying to box.
well, Connor's striking is really good. That's what I'm talking about. Now wrestling, Brock Lesnar in the MMA fight, Conor Conor would lose because
Yeah,
Brock
that's what I'm
Lesnar
trying to
is
say.
really good at wrestling. Like beyond WWE, like he was actually wrestling in the Olympics and then also in high school.
Conor McGregor is 154 pounds.
Yeah,
All right, we're
him.
getting off topic. My
Oh,
point is that that is what was going on. BlackRock is Brock Lesnar, and then you and I are Conor McGregor. BlackRock outweighs us by 100 pounds
hmm
and 6-7 inches, and we can't compete versus them. So what this executive order does is it allows you and I to compete against each other, and
Yeah.
it keeps
Free market.
Brock Lesnar. Free market, yeah. The free market is not everyone competes against everyone. It's that you stay in your lane.
Yeah.
You stay in your lane. So that being said, I want to move to MAGA. I do think MAGA's taken a hit, but I do think MAGA is still on the rise. Um, what is your thoughts on MAGA?
Well, I feel
And
like
before I ask you that, this is what I asked ChatGPT to give me a rundown of each of these.
mhm.
So MAGA's, I asked ChatGPT to give me three main points about MAGA. And so the first one is America First nationalism, focuses on prioritizing U.S. interests in trade, immigration, and foreign policy. And then it's populism versus establishment, positions itself against both Democratic leadership and traditional Republicans, quote unquote, the establishment. And three, strong leadership and cultural pushback. It emphasizes border security, skepticism of globalism, and resistance to progressive cultural shifts. So that is what Chat's view of MAGA is.
Yeah. I would say I'm not demonizing Israel when I bring up Israel. You keep taking it as I think Israel is like the bad guy. I'm just somebody who don't like being lied to. I like
Mm-hmm.
all the facts. Just be straight up with me and whatever the case may be. So I believe MAGA is so close with Israel and is Israel first and not America first. Like I believe
Why do
in
you think that?
hmm?
Why do you think that?
Well, because of social media. I've been looking, scrolling through Instagram. But no,
So, because
I,
I disagree with you.
no, but seriously, um, I was watching Alice Jones and the Hodge twins,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a podcast, and and one of the things that they said was, um, hopefully it comes to my brain quickly. They were talking about how, especially with the the proxy war with Iran, that Israel leaders and um, political informants and all that type of stuff were heavily involved with Trump in with the coordination of everything and also the decision. And so um, it's not to say that I don't believe we utilize our allies to, you know, execute things. I just believe you have, if your kids are crying about they haven't been eating food, like they haven't had any food and they're hungry, and you keep saying, "Hey, drink some water," and like keep drinking water, then eventually like your kids are just going to starve, like cuz they're not getting proper nutrition. And I believe that equates to the same thing with Trump and MAGA, and how we keep screaming like, "Hey, give us the answers to why Israel is so close with us right now." It's not to say that we don't know that we have all these other partnerships with other countries and lobbies and stuff like that. That's irrelevant. That's like you're telling us this stuff that is common sense, but it's what we see right now, which is very consistent. This one is very consistent. Is the thing that I feel like MAGA is just been unclear about. Like they lead with transparency, everything is transparent, but they end with no transparency. Like releasing the Epstein files. Like
Yeah, I could.
it, you
Pisses me
release
off.
the Epstein files, but everything is redacted. And so it's like, hey, I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna take it back.
Okay, so all that said, do you think MAGA is on the rise, or do you think MAGA is on the rise? It's taking a hit, or like how do you view MAGA as opposed to how you view Democrats and Republicans?
I mean, based on numbers, MAGA is not taking a hit. There's a lot of support for MAGA and the movement of MAGA and the decisions. Um, but what was your other question?
No, just like your feeling on the different like cultural shift, I should say, between MAGA, Republicans, Democrats.
Um,
Like, out of all three of those, which one do you think's on the rise? Like, how would you rank them?
um, I would say Republicans I see could be coming back and more on the rise.
Why?
Um, without the war being attached to it. I think that there's been a lot of Republicans that I've been seeing here locally who are uh, running for office in our districts and stuff like that. And they're ex military guys r- running as Republicans. And they seem to be very much against like anti war, like, but also, that's the same thing that Trump said in we have a proxy war, which is not a real war, but it's a question and it's a thing that people are going to say and that they are saying. So it's just a fact, regardless of um, if it's like a real war or not, um, or like a legitimate war. Uh, it's some type of war. So, um, yeah, lost my train of
You
thought
didn't
again.
answer my question.
What was your question?
What is your view on Republicans, MAGA, Democrats? Do you think one is on the rise, one is like?
Oh
Do you
yeah,
agree?
that's what I was saying. Like Republicans, because the guy that's or the people I've been seeing running, like they're um, anti-war. Like they're very much family guys, and they understand. They seem like more down to earth, normal, genuine, non-political guys,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that's what the Republican Party was back then, which was much more homey. Like about every decision is about everybody's home, like what makes the home safer and better and protected. And that transition to um, money, power, and war.
Yeah, I won't disagree with you. I will say though, I think the uh, those candidates are more MAGA candidates than they are Republican. There's an old mantra. It's called "War Hawks," And most war hawks are like your traditional Republican. Think Lindsey Graham, senator from South Carolina. He wants, I mean, he's like, yeah, let's put boots on the ground in Iran. And it's like, mother trucker, no. Like,
Mm.
freaking no. Like, and most MAGA, I think most MAGA wants to get Iran to a place where everybody around them is like, hold up. They were a paper tiger beforehand. Now they're just dead paper. We can go in there and take them over. And then America doesn't have to put boots on the ground. And we dropped, thousands of bombs on them, and that's all. Unfortunately, we have lost some service members. Like, one is too many. But for the gains that are potentially there to get rid of somebody that is a 12er, which I recommend you redo your research on 12ers. It is a Muslim ideology that is incredibly dangerous, and it's so much so dangerous that the Muslim countries that surround Iran want to kick Iran down more than they want to destroy Israel. Like, that is how dangerous these Muslim countries view 12ers, and all the Iranian like heads are 12ers. That is how dangerous these people are. And so, that being said, I do think that we are in a weird space. As more and more Democrats, I think, wake up and recognize, hey, this is a weird party. Like, this is a weird party. Like, I don't agree with boys in women's restrooms. Like, I don't agree with the mutilation of children. I don't agree with abortions up until birth. I don't agree with open borders to the extent of basically you don't have a border. Like, I don't agree with these things.
Well, maybe
Then
MAGA is. Maybe you're right. Maybe I had the Republican Party confused. Maybe MAGA is what the Republican Party used to be, but maybe the things, because things look ugly before it looks beautiful or before it gets good, right?
yeah,
So maybe with all of this chaos and stuff going down, when the chaos or when the ashes or the smoke settles or whatever, then will be revealed the you know final product.
and we need to all, like, it's, I forgot who said it, but no matter where you stand on the spectrum of the Iranian war, you need to pray we win. Like, it is not America first for us to lose this war, conflict, whatever you want to call it. That's not America first. It is not America first for Iran who opens up their parliament, whatever they call it, and they just chant death to America. Like, that's not America first. It's not America first for Iran, who is the number one terror sponsor in the whole world, that has killed thousands of our people, hundreds of our people through proxies over the last 49 years, or whatever, 47 years, for them to be in power. That is not America first. And so now that we're in it, you need to pray that we get through it, and we get through it quickly. So
Well, I
my
saw
final,
the like Trump is in negotiation with Iran right now, and so
yeah,
it
I don't know
seems.
if I think they left the table. I saw a few things. I think that I don't know if they agreed to things, but
Well, he made a post and said that um like whatever you saw is like it's false. like things are still in order, and
Okay, that's good.
things are looking good.
Okay, was that as of today?
Yeah, that was today.
Okay, yeah. So and then he must be talking about things that I saw where it's like basically Iran left the table and they didn't want to concede anything. Um, so we just can't back away. We can't be the America that went into Vietnam and tried to do a police state. We can't be America that went into Korea and tried to do a police state. We can't be America that went into the Gulf War and didn't completely decapitate Saddam Hussein in 1993. We can't be America that went into Iraq and decapitated Saddam Hussein and then was over there for 20 years and nothing is to say for it. We can't be America that went into Afghanistan and withdrew from Afghanistan in a freaking tuck tail and run state. Like, we can't do that. We have to win. We have to be the America that was in World War II, where we freaking slaughtered Hitler and the Reich. And we have to be the America that told Japan, if you don't surrender, then we're going to have to kill all of you. Like, you have to surrender. Iran has to surrender. Like, they have to surrender. And so they're trying to call their bluff I feel like, and Trump can't bluff them. He can't give in. And I don't think he will. But we can't give into it. But that all being said, over the next few years, I think we're going to see the Democratic Party continue to dwindle. I do think you're going to see still a rift in the Republican and MAGA parties party together. And that rift is going down the spectrum of your Nick Fuentes's, your Candace Owens, your Tucker Carlson's, the Hodge twins, and everybody else. I still my jury is still out on all of them and what is motivating them to push the agendas that they're pushing, and so it's as long as conservatism recognizes that evil is at the gate, and that evil is ideology of men and women's restrooms, no borders, everything is paid for by the government. You don't get guns. You don't get to keep your guns. Islam everywhere. Christianity nowhere. Christians have to wake up. Republicans have to wake up. Common sense, sane people have to wake up, and they have to recognize, like, everybody's saying that, oh, this is the most important election in your lifetime. I do think we're actually getting to the place where, like, this next election is the most important election. Because if Democrats win next time, if Democrats win in the midterms, they're going to impeach the crap out of Trump. They're going to not pass any of his agenda moving forward. He will be a lame duck president for 2 years. He won't just be fighting people, in the courts to be able to continue to do tariffs. He's going to be fighting them in the courts for you to be able to keep your guns, for you to be able to, I don't know, not have $1 million of taxes taken out on you. Freaking Elizabeth Warren posted her tax thing. If you make, I think every dollar over, I think $1 million or 50 million, whatever it is, then every dollar you make over that's taxed an extra 2 cents. And every dollar that you make over $1 billion taxed an extra cent. And that sounds all pretty. That sounds all nice. The issue is that it's never going to be enough. As soon as they approve that tax, within a year, 2 years, 3 years, they're going to move that to 4 cents, and then 2 cents or 3 cents on every dollar over $1 billion. Like, it's never enough money to a Democrat. It's never enough money to a liberal. They would just want more and more and more. And they will say, oh, well, the program's failing because it needs more money. Every program that the government implements fails. Every single one of them, it fails. And who's the economist that you love? What's his name?
Milton Friedman.
Milton Friedman. You guys need to do your research on Milton Friedman. Freaking smart man. Like, government programs, they never freaking work. So, that all being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please, if you did, I would love to earn a follow, a like, a comment. Let us know your thoughts. We would love to debate with you, talk with you. So, Jacoby, you end.
Yeah, guys. It was good talking to you guys. And we'll be back next week. Peace.